Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here and welcome back to Resident Evil 4. This is the HD edition on Xbox One, and this is my professional difficulty walkthrough for the game, and we're moving on to Chapter 3, Part 3. So in the last video, we got past the, what's it called? The shrubbery maze, I guess you could say, that had the Las Plagas wolves in it, and that is always one of the most stressful sections in the game for me. But unfortunately, this video is going to have an even more stressful section. So I've been referring to this throughout the game, what I call oh shit moments, and those are the moments where I just find myself coming to it, and because I've played this game so many times, I know what's about to happen, and I find myself saying, oh shit, not this part. And you'll find that in Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, that's where there's the highest rate of oh shit moments. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. First, what you're going to want to do is scavenge this entire area, and in the wardrobe there, you can actually find a really expensive treasure. And so make sure there's a merchant standing right here. So make sure you sell this to him for 12,000. It's kind of weird. I was thinking about it. Like, first off, the merchant's just hanging out in this room. Why didn't he look around? Like, he could have found that piece of treasure and it would have been free. You know, if he had just picked it up before I did, I couldn't have sold it to him for 12,000. So, that's some pretty bad merchanting. Merchanting? I don't know why I can't think of the right word for that, but yeah, I'm a physicist, not a linguist. But anyway. So yeah, take this opportunity then with all the money you have. Feel free to increase the traits on any of your weapons, particularly the rifle and the broken butterfly, because they're going to come in handy in this section. Particularly, I'd say the broken butterfly, which is the magnum, or the revolver that we're holding right now. So take this opportunity to save, and then once you've cleared out this entire area and you're ready to go on your journey, go into here, and we're gonna have to basically solve a quick little puzzle, and then we're gonna have to collect some stuff, and then we have the next oh shit moment. So luckily though, so Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 are definitely, in my opinion, the hardest chapters in the game, and so Chapter 3, you notice that parts 1 and 2 were particularly long. I think part 1 was about 40 minutes. Oh yeah, make sure you shoot that wine bottle, and that's really the whole puzzle. But do not go into that room yet. Before you go into that room that you just unlocked, go over here, and there's actually going to be a lot that you can scavenge beforehand. But yeah, so Chapter 3 has been particularly long, but luckily this part here, Part 3, is relatively short, and then Part 4 is also going to be incredibly short, and then we're going to be moving on to Chapter 4, which is pretty long and also pretty difficult, so lucky for us. But yeah, so you can run around this room here and actually scavenge a lot of stuff, and you'll see that there's a lock on that door right there. That's not going to lead us to anywhere new. If you remember in the last video, right before heading into the maze, we came to this room where there was like 2 different doors to go through, and one of the doors, it said, was locked from the other side. That is this door here. So you can go through here, and I think you can actually get another treasure and do a little bit more scavenging, but really this area here is nowhere new, so don't think like you don't think you have to go exploring or anything, because we've actually already been there. And so now, once you're content, we can move on to a pretty stressful section. So what's going to happen is once we enter that room, hopefully you have a flash grenade. I really hope you have a flash grenade. If not, there's one in this room, but I doubt you can get to it before the enemies will start to spawn. If you don't have a flash grenade, that's okay. What you're going to want to do is make sure you have a magnum or a rifle equipped, because what's going to happen is you're going to have to shoot the lock off of this gate as fast as possible. So watch this. You enter this room here, this cage, this prison cell encompasses you, and then one of these Wolverine guys comes through. So if you have a flash grenade, throw that right away so that you can stun all of the regular enemies. If you don't have it, make sure with your strongest weapon you shoot out this lock. Then open the door and just run for it. It's going to be hard, especially without that flash grenade, because you see right now how all of the enemies are stunned, and I was able to get here scot-free. But basically, you're going to want to make your way to this room here, run all the way to the end, and then pull out your rifle. And if you use the flash grenade, eventually that stun is going to wear off. If not, they'll be chasing you. But then you're just going to aim down your sights at this doorway here and shoot the enemies as they run in. And this is a really good approach to this section because you're putting a lot of distance between you and the Wolverine enemy. You're putting a lot of distance between you and the regular enemies. But the good news is that Wolverine guy, you know, he's blind. So he's kind of just walking around right now trying to figure out where the hell you went. And so the benefit of this is you can take out all of the regular foot soldiers without ever really exposing yourself to the Wolverine guy. And then once you are in a little bit of a less stressful situation, you've taken out most of the regular guys and everything like that, then you can kind of run up and lure the Wolverine guy into this large room here and take him out with ease. But you can imagine, like, fighting all these guys in that cage. It's not impossible. I've done it before. But this is definitely the way that makes your life a lot easier. Because one problem is when you're stuck in that cage, already it's going to be hard enough to fight the Wolverine guy. But then you got guys shooting crossbows at you into the cage. And then you got guys that if you try to hunker down in like a corner or something, they'll actually reach through the bars and grab you and do a bunch of damage. So this part here is just, it's almost a part where I have to stop and ask the developers, like, what were you thinking? This part is just ridiculously too hard. But I think the one redeeming factor is that those gates had locks on them, meaning that we could escape the cage whenever we wanted to. If it was something like you had to kill the Wolverine guy in order to get the key that unlocks the cage, then that's kind of pushing it. That is too difficult in my opinion. But the fact that they let you shoot the lock off yourself, that's kind of the factor here that makes it all possible. And so yeah, once you, like I said, once you're in a less stressful situation, you're going to want to lure the guy into this room here, and then just use either your revolver or your rifle, shoot him in the back. If you have an incendiary grenade, those do a lot of damage to him as well, so feel free to use that. But then just a couple more shots in his back should do the trick before he eventually falls down and gives in to our almighty power. That was really stupid. I couldn't think of anything to say, and those were the first words that came to my mind. But yeah, so take him out, and then if you can get through this section, give yourself a small pat on the back, because that's pretty much the main difficulty that comes with this level. And so with that, I kind of want to take a quick opportunity to ask you guys something. So I have a lot of fun making these walkthroughs, and I have no intention of stopping these walkthroughs and I don't just mean for Resident Evil, I mean for gaming, for YouTube in general. I have a lot of fun doing this. But before I started making walkthroughs, which keep in mind was very recently, I only started making these hardest difficulty walkthroughs a couple months ago. Before I started, this summer I actually experimented with doing like traditional face cam Let's Plays. And I had a lot of fun doing those, but there was two things that made it difficult. One was they're a lot more time consuming to edit, and I knew that going into my fifth semester of physics, I just wasn't going to have the time to do that regularly. The other thing that got me mad was that a lot of I would work really hard. I would stay up till midnight to get a new game. I'd work really hard all night to film it and edit it so that I could upload it early the next morning. And I'd find that my videos would get no views, one because the Let's Play market on YouTube is just so highly oversaturated, but also, you know, there's already really big channels that they get the games early, which means that they can edit early and release their footage, like, right the day of the game, like the second the game comes out, they can release their footage. And also, they already have a well-established audience, so why would anyone stumble across my random video when they can watch theirs? And for me, doing Let's Plays is a little different. Like, I can make these walkthroughs and not have a lot of views, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But when I do a Let's Play, I would get really discouraged when not a lot of people watch them, because those took a lot more work, in my opinion. And so it was a little discouraging to see all this work go into something that nobody ended up watching. But that's kind of beside the fact. The question I want to pose to you is, lately I've been really having this urge to play like old classic video games. I've really been wanting to play Spyro the Dragon on the PlayStation 1. But there's other games too, like Spyro 2, Spyro 3, and then there's just a bunch of old classic PlayStation 1 games that I used to play a lot as a kid. I used to have this like SpongeBob game, and I had this really fun Rugrats game, and I've been wanting to go back and play those. And I also have a Super Nintendo, and the same thing. I have this like Power Rangers game, and I have this Michael Jordan game, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to just maybe like once or twice a week publish a Let's Play where I play classic video games. And I know that that's nothing new on YouTube or anything, but I just personally think I would have a lot more fun doing that than I would trying to, hurry up and scavenge to be the first person to publish a Let's Play for a brand new video game. I think I'd have a lot more fun playing those old classic games that I loved as a kid. So if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing, let me know in the comments below. And also let me know if there's any old classic games that you would enjoy me watching. And like I said, it's a complete, this is just an idea at this point, but the reason I'm bringing it up now is because I'm about to finish finals week, which means that I'll have a month off of school before I have to go back for my next semester of physics. And so during that time, I'm going to have pretty much all free time, and I'm going to keep making walkthroughs and things like that, but with that extra free time, I can also start kind of experimenting with this idea of playing classic video games. So yeah, with that being said, I'd like to know what you guys think about it, especially because now I have a larger audience on this channel. I have almost 500 subscribers, so if that's something people would be interested in seeing, feel free to let me know. And I'm also, I might even publish a video about it, since not everyone's going to watch this video. I might publish a video asking people what they think. But yeah, guys, so that's my question to you. I think it'd be a really fun idea. I think it'd be fun for YouTube, and personally, I think it'd be a lot of fun for me to go back and play those games that I was so passionate about as a kid, and even am passionate about now. Namely, it's Spyro. I've always loved Spyro, and the other game I've loved is Crash. But I don't know if I'd play Crash because that game is going to be getting remastered pretty soon, so I don't think there'd be a lot of point in playing the older ones when a remaster is right around the corner. But anyway, guys, I didn't bother covering the gameplay here really because it's pretty standard, just fighting enemies. There's nothing special in this area. But once you clear out this area, you're going to turn around and you'll see this glass case here with a rocket launcher inside. So bust that open, take everything you can, but if you're in my situation here, if you haven't yet been able to buy the extra large briefcase, you're going to see the video cut here because I spent about 4 minutes rearranging things in my suitcase so that I could fit that rocket launcher. And trust me, this is a free rocket launcher. You're gonna want to take it. If you have to discard some items, which I did, make sure you do that. I had to discard a health and some ammo, but a rocket launcher is far worth it. So don't worry about discarding certain items, but just do whatever you can to rearrange the items in your briefcase so that you can take that free rocket launcher, because when life hands you a rocket launcher, you blow shit up. That's the motto to live by. So make sure you do whatever you can to fit that into your briefcase. And then that's pretty much it, guys. You're gonna go through the door here. You're gonna trigger a cutscene, and I'll see you in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you in Chapter 3, Part 4.
Leon, I got it. Louis!
Now that I have the sample, you serve me no purpose.
Sadler!
My boy Salazar will make sure you follow the same fate.
Stay with me, Louis. I am a researcher, hired by Sadler. He found out what I was up to.
Don't talk.
Here. It should suppress growth of the parasite. The sample. Sadler took it. You have to get it back.
Louis!